Welcome into the studios here in Nashville, Tennessee. We are going to get ready for a very special announcement. Now that we're all here, gathering in, getting excited, do me a favor right now. Like this video and subscribe to the On3 YouTube page. We're about to do a live commitment, and we got more coming this summer. Big ones coming up on the docket. But first, let's talk about what we have going on today. We got Caleb Odom, 6'4", 220-pound tight end from Carrollton High School in Carrollton, Georgia. The number 4 ranked tight end in the country and the 60th best player overall, according to the On3 industry rankings. Now, Odom is making his commitment after taking 5 official visits this summer. Busy June for Caleb Odom. He was at Alabama on June 2, Florida on the 9th, Auburn on the 12th, Texas A&M on the 16th. Then he was down in Coral Gables to wrap up his official visit tour to Miami on the 23rd. So look at this. Auburn gets an official visit, but does not make the Final 5. Odom narrowed his list down to a top 5 about 3 weeks ago, and you have the Florida Gators, Texas A&M, Miami, Alabama, and Ole Miss. Now, earlier this week, I had a chance to speak with Director of Scouting and Rankings here at On3, Charles Power, to get his opinion on Caleb Odom as a top prospect.
Caleb Odom is one of the more gifted jumbo pass catchers in the 2024 cycle. He's extremely productive, a very good athlete. He plays outside receiver at Georgia powerhouse, Carrollton High School. Very productive as a junior, over 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns. A guy who can separate versus corners, but we really like his upside as a potential tight end. He's around 6'4", 220 pounds. I think he has the frame to continue putting on weight. Regardless of if he plays tight end or stays at receiver, this guy has a lot of mismatch ability. One thing we love about him as well is he's a phenomenal basketball player. I think he has perhaps the best dunk reel of any prospect we've watched in the 2024 cycle. A guy who lives above the rim, rocks the rim 2 or 3 times a game at minimum. So I think when you just take the full breadth of what he brings to the table as a prospect, he's a tight end worth getting really excited about.
Look at my man just throwing down on guys on the hard court. Caleb Odom, how about that? All right, before we get to Director of Recruiting Chad Simmons, I want to check in on some national recruiting headlines real quick. Alabama lands top offensive lineman Casey Poe, the 6'4", 285-pound interior offensive lineman, is the number 1 ranked interior offensive lineman in the country, and he is headed to Bama. Miami's surprise commitment. Who did they get? It was number 9 ranked wide receiver in the country, JoJo Trader from Chaminade High School. Now, it was a surprise because nobody had any idea when he was going to announce. In this day and age of high school recruiting, guys set announcement dates. They're a big deal. JoJo Trader just announced, hey, I'm going to Miami. Arkansas double dip. Look at this. 4-star running back Braylon Russell and 4-star corner Selman Bridges commit to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Braylon Russell, they beat out Tennessee, and Selman Bridges, they beat out Texas. Big wins for Sam Pittman. And Juju Lewis cuts his list. This is a name you got to remember. He's a 2026 quarterback at Carrollton High School. Same high school as Caleb Odom, and he cut his list to a top 8. Alabama, Florida State, Georgia, LSU, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas A&M, and USC make the cut. Remember the name, Julian Lewis. All right, before we go to Chad, let's take a look at the updated top 10 team rankings. We got the Georgia Bulldogs at number 1. They've been camped out there for months. Ohio State 2, Florida 3, Alabama, Michigan at 5. Then you got USC, Clemson, Texas A&M, Florida State, and Penn State rounding out that top 10. We are here in the On3 studios in Nashville getting ready for 4-star tight end Caleb Odom to make his decision. He's the number 4 ranked tight end in the country and the 11th best player in the state of Georgia. Will it be Alabama, Florida, Miami, Texas A&M, or Ole Miss? Let's bring on Director of Recruiting here at On3, Chad Simmons. Chad, how have you seen Caleb develop over the past few years? I know you've been watching him. He's a prospect in Georgia that you're very familiar with.
Yeah, Josh, started getting calls on Caleb from other coaches around probably going out of his freshman into sophomore year. Been watching him the last 2 seasons, a really big jump from sophomore to junior year. I think the biggest thing was just seeing that confidence level. Caleb's always known been a great athlete. You talked about him throwing it down on the hard court, a lot to work with, athleticism, natural talent there. But I think he started to kind of believe he can be that guy. 60 plus catches last year, over 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, helped Carrollton get to the state championship game. So I think development and really confidence level, seeing him grow these last 18 months or so.
All right, Caleb narrowed his list of schools down to a top 5 about 2 or 3 weeks ago. What's the latest intel on these teams that you're hearing just moments away from this big commitment?
Yeah, like you said, very busy, month of June for Caleb. Obviously, 5 official visits. The one he didn't take an OV to was Ole Miss that made the Final 5. If you ask me, 2 or 3 months ago, who I thought maybe had the best chance to land Caleb then, it would have been Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. And I think they're still very much in play. But if you're asking me maybe who's had the most buzz as we closed in on this commitment date, it's been Alabama and Miami, 2 schools that got him on campus in June. He's praised both Nick Saban's program and Mario Cristobal's program. And those have been the 2, along with Ole Miss, who have been right there over the last couple of months.
All right, well, looks like we're about ready to go to Carrollton High School, where Caleb Odom is setting up. He's got friends, he's got families, got teammates all ready to hear his announcement. But also be sure to follow him on both Instagram and Twitter. Caleb Odom, 6'4", 220-pound tight end. Take a look at these social handles because his career is about to take off. You're going to want to follow along. The number 4 ranked tight end in the country, the 60th best player overall, according to the On3 industry rankings. All right, it looks like Caleb's set. Caleb Odom at Carrollton High School. How are you feeling today?
I feel great.
It's a big day. What are some of the emotions of the day as you get ready to make this big decision?
Yeah, I'm excited, a little nervous, but I'm just excited to take the next step of my life for sure.
All right, so you narrowed your list of schools to a top 5 about 2 or 3 weeks ago. What is it about these programs to make the cut for you?
Yeah, all great programs, honestly. Everywhere you go, you're going to see the big weight rooms and the big facilities and everything. But honestly, these programs, I really built great relationships with all the coaches. I got the family feel from all these schools, but it was just one that really stood out to me. So, but definitely got the family feel from all of them for sure.
All right, Caleb, say your thank yous. Say the floor is yours, whatever you want to say, and then let us know where you're going to be going to college.
All right, I got you. Thank you. All right, can everyone hear me? I just want to thank y'all for coming out. It's a blessing. I want to start off by thanking God. Without him, I wouldn't be here today, and I just want to thank him for sure. I want to secondly thank my mom. This is my rock for sure. We've been through a lot together, but I love her. And I want to thank all my family for coming. My grandma's here, my aunt's here, so everyone's here, and I just want to thank all y'all for that. But y'all didn't really come here to hear me talk, so I guess I'll just get ready. Oh, wrong one. Yes.
It's Alabama. There's the shirt. All right, Caleb Odom celebrating with friends, family, teammates. Tell me, when did you know it was going to be Alabama?
Yeah, I really knew it would be Alabama right after my official. Honestly, it was a great official. I got to build a lot of good relationships and I really felt like it was home. So that's really when I knew.
Roll Tide. Well, okay, Caleb, tell Alabama fans what they're going to get in Caleb Odom when he steps on campus in Tuscaloosa.
I mean, honestly, they're gonna get a person that's willing to work. Honestly, just a hybrid person. I'm willing to give it all, and I'm just very excited right now. I'm excited to get up and just show them what I got for sure.
All right, Caleb. Well, we appreciate your doing your
Yeah.
commitment here with On Three. Go celebrate with your friends and family. Congrats.
All right, thank y'all.
Yeah. All right, Caleb Odom commits to Alabama. I think it might have been Ole Miss a couple months back, but Miami also made a run. And today, though, it's the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's bring back on Chad Simmons. Chad, what do you think it was that put Alabama over the top for Odom?
Look, Josh, it almost gets old because it's always about player development, putting guys in the NFL, and winning championships. I think those were obviously three factors there, but I think something else too with Joe Cox, him building that relationship. He's a younger coach. Caleb said multiple times to me, the ability to relate to Joe Cox and just connect with him as a person, talk about family, not just football. And then one step further is Tommy Rees. He obviously had tight ends at Notre Dame. He used those guys in his offensive scheme, and Caleb feels he can fit that need at Alabama.
Oh, man. So how do you think Caleb Odom's skill set will fit in with what Alabama and Tommy Rees do on offense?
Oh, quite well. Obviously, Rees had guys like Michael Mayer, Tommy Trimble, multiple guys that starred in South Bend for him at tight end. And even Caleb's different from those guys. Caleb is a mismatch nightmare. He can be that big wide receiver on the outside in the red zone. He can hit the seam at the tight end position in the middle of the field. He's going to be a guy that can make big plays for the offensive scheme under Tommy Rees at Alabama. And again, still so much room to grow and develop, so much upside for him. Again, 6'4", 220, basketball kid, football kid. And I'll point out, he's getting coached by Joey Kingo. I think he's one of the best high school coaches in the game right now, coming from South Florida, a college coach, back to the high school game, coach guys like Trevor Lawrence. So he'll be as prepared as anyone going into Alabama in another year or so.
All right. Thanks, Chad. Well, I appreciate you being a part of Caleb Odom's live commitment tonight here in the On3 studios. What a monster pickup for Nick Saban and his coaching staff. A dynamic playmaker on offense that can be a mismatch at tight end or a big-bodied wide receiver. Let's go ahead and look at this top 10 rankings right now, as Alabama is currently third overall. They jumped the Florida Gators with a total of 14 commitments. You got Florida now at 4, Michigan at 5, USC, Clemson, Texas A&M, Florida State, and Penn State. They round out the top 10. Caleb Odom commits to Alabama over Auburn, Miami, Ole Miss, and Florida. If you're watching this and you love what we do, subscribe to the On3 YouTube page. We have more commitments coming next week. We got more coming. You're not going to want to miss them. Thank you guys all for being a part of another live commitment here in the On3 studios in Nashville, Tennessee. We had a great time broadcasting Caleb Odom to Alabama.